Hello everyone, and welcome to a quick start guide to polymer clay. Some of my future tabletop craft tutorials will include polymer clay, so this guide is for everyone who plans on watching those videos but doesn't know about the medium. In this video, I'll cover clay, tools, and useful odds and ends from around the house to help get you started. Here we have Super Sculpey Original, Medium Blend, and Firm. These clays are designed for sculpting and are readily available in most craft and hobby stores. This makes them a great starter clay. One thing about Super Sculpey is that thinner pieces can break easily even when baked correctly. If your projects are sufficiently sized, mounted on something sturdy, or will spend more time sitting on the table than in your player's hands, you should be fine. These next three clays are my favorite, easy to find, colorful clays. Primo is made by Polyform, the creators of Sculpey. It's a great multi-purpose clay and is strong and flexible after baking. The Sculpey Soufflé is my favorite. It bakes stronger and more flexible than the rest of the Sculpey line and is soft enough to condition by hand. This is a definite bonus for anyone with arthritis or carpal tunnel. The downside is that soufflé doesn't sculpt well, so it's better suited for chunky sculptures. Fimo comes in several varieties: soft, effect, and professional. All are very strong after baking, making them a great choice for projects that will see a lot of handling. These three clays are all translucent. You can skip these clays if you don't plan on making crystals or other projects that would require some level of translucence. The Cernet is my favorite of the three. It bakes very translucent and is great for tinting with inks or pastels. If you can't get a hold of the Cernet, then Fimo White Translucent is the way to go. It's not as clear as the Cernet, but it's still a solid choice. My last suggestion is Primo White Translucent. It's less beige than the regular Primo Translucent, and slightly less clear than the Fimo. These three are the only translucent clays that I personally like, with the Primo being my better-than-nothing option. Liquid polymer clay can be used as a glue for bonding two pieces of clay, and sometimes as a top coat for certain projects. It's also useful for softening old clay. A little bit of it goes a long way. I've had the bottle pictured here for years, and it's still over half full. Another option, if you can't find liquid clay, is to buy Sculpey Bonded Bake. Clay softener is for softening polymer clay that has gotten dry and crumbly. You can use mineral spirits instead of this, a drop at a time, so you don't use too much to make your clay sticky or weak. Needle tools are a simple tool with a lot of uses. Poking holes, carving and sculpting, and so on. I'll have a quick tutorial on how to make your own at the end of this video. The ball stylus is useful for making holes, uniform divots in clays, smoothing clay, and for making paint dots. A clay blade is great for making longer cuts without distorting your clay or chopping up your work mat. You should have a craft knife handy too, though, for smaller or more intricate cuts. You'll want a clay roller that is made out of plastic so that the clay doesn't stick. I prefer acrylic rollers that you see here. Stainless steel is also an option, but is more expensive. If you have arthritis or a similar condition, you might consider buying a pasta machine early on for conditioning your clay. Otherwise, that's a purchase you can wait on until you feel you need it. In addition to the tools I've already showed you, you'll want to have a few things from around the house or craft room. Acrylic paint for painting your finished projects, foil for making armatures and protecting your clay while it bakes, wax paper, baking paper, or copy paper to protect your work surface. You'll want rubbing alcohol for cleaning up clay residue, hand sanitizer or baby wipes for cleaning your hands in between colors. Of course, you can wash your hands with soap and water if you'd prefer. You'll want a ceramic tile, old mirror, or disposable foil baking sheet for baking your clay on. A cheap oven thermometer to make sure your oven is actually at the right temperature. A lot of ovens lie to you. Ziploc bags for storing open clay. And anything you like for texturing or shaping clay. Rolled up foil, beads, cloth, texture rollers, rocks, a toothbrush, cookie cutters. There are lots of options, way too many to list here. Dust the clay and the object with cornstarch or baby powder so there's no sticking. You'll use liquid Sculpey or Bacon Bond on the eye of the needle to prevent gaps and help hold it in place. Start rolling your needle in your sheet of clay and smooth the seam. How much needle you leave sticking out is up to you. Cut off any excess length and smooth the bit around the needle. If the item you're making a tool from is straight, try bending it into a wiggly shape with pliers or wrapping some wire around it to help anchor it inside the clay. Place your new tools on your baking sheet or tile, cover with foil, and bake according to the instructions on your clay packaging. And there you go, all baked and ready to use. And that's my quick start guide for polymer clay. I hope it was useful, and if you have any questions, please comment below. My future videos will focus on tutorials and quick tips, so let me know if there's anything you'd like to see.